Batch friends, good morning, US batch friends.
Good morning, US batch. Good evening, Indian batch.
Good evening, Indian Bank.
Good morning, US batch. Good evening, Australian batch, and good afternoon, Sri Lankan batch. And greetings for MS evening sessions. Okay, great.
Prayer no is good.
Brain assure
I pray
to your parents,
My parents,
to the teachers,
my teachers,
to myself,
myself,
God,
to God,
and to the person
and to the person
who has built this
who has built this institution,
that
that
whatever
whatever
I
I
learn
learn
in these sessions
these sessions
will be put it to practice
put to practice
immediately.
immediately.
I understand
And I understand
and I realize
and I realize
this training
that this training
is not only for
is not only for
my school
my school
and college
and
life,
college life,
but also for
but also for
my entire life.
my entire life.
Might is my right.
My right.
I fight my pride.
I fight my pride.
I can
I can
because I always believe.
because I always believe
I can.
I can.
I promise.
I promise.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Vanilla, is Anjana with you?
No, sir.
Okay. So from the US batch, I see Poona, Vanilla, Vidashri, Kiran, Prisha, and Advait. Kalpita is yet to join. Mitra is yet to join. They're all writing tests, so they will take a little while to join. So from the Indian batch, I don't have Sanjay is not here. Sibi is not here. Mohit and Guru Prasanna are there. Right, so we'll go for the next round of the Thunderbird activity. The next round will have, as I had mentioned in the task sheet, it will have multiple numbers of people. What you do is you put up the chair instead of the table. You put up the chair opposite to the chairs, okay? So that you can be visible in the camera and I will be having room to walk around. So this time, what we are going to do is we are going to have some properties, and I told you yesterday that I'll be involving some properties in this session today.
Simulation.
Simulation. All right,
So
so
Monday, tomorrow.
yeah, good evening, Sanjay. Okay, come on. யார் யார் செஷன் வராங்கன்னு தெரியல ஃபுட்பால். Now, what we are going to do is from team Dakshin Siddharth, Dakshin, Vishnupriya, and Brinda will line up here. They will have their chairs and they will sit here. Come on, you are in the ring. Yeah. நான் வேணா ஆஃப் பண்றது.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, friends.
Good evening, Kalpita.
Good evening, sir.
Looking at camera தெரியும், camera தெரியும். Okay. That's question. Brinda, நீ பக்கத்துல it should be a very nice. Okay, fine. So the definition is somewhere over here. So Mitra Vandapina, she was here. So there are 3 in-ring players from the direct session alone. In-ring contestants are Darshan Siddharth, Udeshri Brinda, and Vishnu Priya. Versus Team Kiran. We'll have the leader. Since the leader is participating, from Team Kiran, the in-ring contestants are number 1, Kiran, number 2, Sanjay Bhaskar, and Siddharth Sarana Kumar. Siddharth actually belongs to Team Kiran. So if Mitra comes in the interim, she will join. But right now, there are 3 individuals. And against you 3, that is Siddharth, Vishnu Priya and Brinda versus Kiran, Sanjay Bhaskar and Siddharth Sarana Kumar. Any questions, Kiran?
No, sir.
Kalpita, Mitra, all those people will have the final contest. The next team. Yes, Kalpita.
Sir, I got the answer.
Okay. Guru Prasanna, you have a question?
Sir, as already 3 members are in the ring, sir. Sir, can we use if suppose if nobody knows the solution, sir? Can we use an person for help, sir?
Yeah, of course. So that's always available, as I was mentioning in the previous yesterday's session. Ready?
Yes.
Any questions?
6 minutes now.
No,
Today,
sir.
within I will start.
Yes, sir. You can project it.
Oh, now be less. Time will be extended. It's not for 6 minutes, it's a little bit extended.
Take off the problem.
Problems you can take notes, but this is more kind of a memory thing. So you cannot take notes.
Problem.
Problems you can take notes, but the properties and the names and the circumstances entitled with the properties, that should not be noted down, nor it should be screenshotted. So only the problems can be written down. So for few of the US batch people, I think Vidashri will not be attending tomorrow, Saturday. So US batch people, please understand, we are going to have our regular stream of US batch timing starting from Monday. Your evening classes will be resumed. You have any questions on that, US batch?
No, sir.
No, sir. No, sir.
Good evening,
Good evening, Mitra. Good evening, Mitra.
Good
Good
evening.
evening, Mitra.
Bonus data minus. Since Siddharth Sarana Kumar has joined only now, so anyhow we still have Siddharth. Would you like to go now, or would you like to go in the second in-ring contest?
Sir, can I go in the second round so I can watch like what to do and how to play?
Fine. So
Sir,
in that case,
may I volunteer myself for this round?
Hitashi, I'm seriously not able to hear you. I mean, you'll have to get it closer to your mouth.
Sir, to replace Siddharth in our team, sir, Vitashri wants to volunteer, sir.
Sure. So we will have Siddharth, Mitra, Kalpita go in the next. Good evening.
The secret.
Serious
Now I'm ready at the file.
தெரியல. First இந்த வேலையை முடிக்கணும். ரெடியாடா?
சரி கிரவுண்ட் யார்
Yes, Kiran. இருங்கடா. Kiran.
Sorry, sir, is my hand raised? Oopsies. I raised it to ask you if Vitashi could join our team, sir, but then Vitashi herself asked. So I'll pull my hand down, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good. Can you unraise the hand, please? You don't.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Right, so Once again, for the last time I'm saying, for the last time I'm saying, நீ என்னமோ பண்றா நீ ரிங்லே இல்லையா நீ என்ன வரும் நீ ஏதாவது பேசுங்க Okay. So basically, it's between Darshan Siddharth, Vishnupriya, Vrinda, and no, 3 versus 3. 3 versus 3. Versus Kiran, Sanjay, and Vitashu. Ready?
Sir, Mitra Kaltara
Stop talking. Ready? So this guy's name is. I will choose only Indian names. Don't expect me to go for Western names. This guy's name is Mahesh. This guy's name is Divakar. This guy's name is Veera. V-E-E-R-A. These 3 members are very good friends and they have been spending a lot of time together in their lifespan. What happens is that these 3 members have been visiting a particular tourist spot. A particular tourist spot where they met another person. That person, they met this person in the tourist spot, and this person's name is Abdul. This person's name is Abdul. I don't have walking space. I need a lot of walking space. Make sure that you are visible in the camera. That's all. Yeah. In the radius cooler, on the radius in the radius cooler, so that those people will find it comfortable. Bro, very hard. Yeah, I am Shall we continue?
Yes, sir.
So basically, boys and girls, the 3 heroes of our story, when they met Abdul, things were not normal and regular in their lives. Because Abdul has been speaking so different and eccentric, and he has always been suggesting life from a different angle. Let's say the person who is representing this cup, he was very, very spiritual in nature, and the person who was representing this particular cup, he was very much holding a strong belief on the ancestral things, like the history, like the people in the past, whatever they believed, this guy was believing. All these were broken by this guy, the tourist spot guy. And their schools of thoughts were broken. Their belief system was disturbed. And naturally, they had to spend a couple of days there. They were living over there in the tourist spot. I don't want to mention the place, but it's a tourist spot. They stayed there for about exactly 6 days, and in 6 days, things have changed. Okay? Sorry? Yeah. For the 3 protagonists, things have changed. Now in comes another person. This particular cup is representing another person. This person, I would like to first of all say the name. This is the lady, and her name is Sheba, S-H-E-E-B-A. So this person is, I'm saying the name only once, and this person happens to be this person's mom. This person happens to be this person's mom. So Sheba tries to contact her son, and the son responds to the call. Normally, even if it is 15 kilometers away, proximity, Sheba's son used to speak to her for a long, long time, saying that I miss home terribly, I miss you terribly, I miss dad terribly. Likewise, he used to be very, very homesick. But now, this guy, that is Sheba's son, is not missing anything, and he in fact does not want Sheba or the mom to spend more time speaking over the phone. This has really made the mom so disappointed. Okay? Now, 6 days later, they all return. But when they return, they request that person who they met in the tourist spot to come along with them. So the person readily accepts, and the person comes. The moment the person comes into the first person's house, you know the first person's name, and you know the cup that is representing the first person. The moment he gets into the first person's house, the first person's dad meets with an accident. Stress, uncertainty, friction, and a lot of problems at home. And in fact, this person, the visitor, helps the dad out. But the father of the first person wants that person to be away from him. Because the first person's father is... Sorry?
This person's dad just got injured.
He got injured. He's all right now. So 4 days later, 5 days later, he says, I want this person away from our house because I'm feeling a negative radiation from this person.
Person they met.
Yeah, that's right. The visitor, he says. But person number one in our story, he picks up the fight with his dad. Say that, how dare you disrespect my friend? He's a treasure. We three friends, we found him as a treasure. And we would like to preserve him throughout our lives.
The person who is feeling something negative vibration.
Person one's dad, not person. Got it?
Yes.
Any questions thus far?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. Now our visitor goes to the third person's house. Third person's house. And you know the name of the third person. The moment he gets into the third person's house, they receive a call from the bank. And they say their bank locker has been robbed. And we are really sorry. We would see what we can do for it. Yes, of course, we are taking responsibility for this. We will give you money at least 3 months later. But there is a very big money urgency in that house. They need few lakhs of rupees for an expense. But now the bank has been robbed, their bank locker has been robbed, and these people are feeling so helpless. Now our visitor says, I'll help you. Maybe I'll talk to my friends and I'll arrange for money. And after the bank reimburses your money, you can return the money back to you. But the person's mom says, if you want to do a help, go back to your home. We don't want any money from you. How dare you disrespect my friend? He's our treasure. And you're giving me pressure. We thought of taking pleasure, but you people are giving us pressure. So it is now awesome as it is. The visitor and the friend. Visitor and the friend. So remember, two families have got major problems,
Yes, yes.
right? Now the person gets into the second person's family. He visits the house. And the second person, the second person was already having a problem at home. The problem was, there was a issue that was going on with his elder sister. There was a marriage related issue that was happening with the elder sister of the person. So this guy entered into the house and the elder sister gets kidnapped. She's missing. The husband of the elder sister comes, where's my wife? And people say, we are also searching. Did you set a goon for kidnapping her? Because we are suspecting you. Because you are having a problem with her. And the husband says, the kidnapper will soon die. Because he has kidnapped my wife. So, God bless him, so he will soon die. So this kind of a problem, so the girl gets kidnapped. And this guy says, the visitor says, don't worry, I've got people. And I'll arrange people for taking your daughter back and she will be safe. And the daughter's mom comes and says that they take you. Yeah, we don't want you here. How dare you disrespect my friend? He's our pressure, he's our treasure, he's our pleasure. All these dialogues happen. Now, these three friends, boys and girls, they decide to take this person in a different custody. Okay? So they have stayed together in a particular mansion. Our three characters and this guy. Now in comes the next person. This person. Dusky brown cup. This person's name is Stanley. Stanley. He owns a bungalow called as Stanley's bungalow. He owns a bungalow called as Stanley's bungalow.
I'm very person.
You are very glad now.
Stanley was
Yeah.
daily move.
So Stanley is the owner of the mansion. Because basically speaking, these 4 guys are staying in Stanley's bungalow. Okay? And you know what will happen in Stanley's bungalow. Yeah. They don't want their family. The family is holding up an aversion on this visitor. So they decide to stay alone. So they're all staying in one particular place. And that's Stanley's bungalow. Okay? Right? 6th day something happens. 6th day. They stay there 5 days. 6th day something happens. Exactly on the 6th day, our first person gets miserably ill. He is down with fever, he is down with joint aches and all that. Okay? We are in the fortunate period of non-pandemic era. So it is not COVID or something. He's okay. But he's down with fever. Now slowly the second and third person start doubting this visitor. Now no more dialogue and how dare you disrespect my friend. No. People have started feeling that there is something going on. On the 7th day something happens. Stanley's kitchen gets burnt. Okay? Because he was in the kitchen for almost about 2 hours there, preparing soup for his friend, and the kitchen got burnt. So
Stanley is
no, the visitor. So Stanley now feels that something is wrong. But the other 2 members, you know who those 2 members are. They still believe in this guy. Okay? They still believe in this guy. The person who has fallen in stopped believing in him. Stanley stopped believing in him. But the other 2 persons are there. Okay? So they still believe in him. One day they decide to speak with this guy, this evil guy. The time was 10:30 in the night. The 2 members are going to speak to the person who is being blamed for everything.
Yes.
The antagonist. Who? Yeah, 4th person. 4th person. Yeah. Oh. These 2 members, the person who has fallen ill and Stanley, they both are really weak, but but the other two persons who are still believing in this fourth person, they are trying to speak. Names Allah sequence are kept by So what happens is they all speak to him at 10:30 p.m. And this guy stands like this. He stands straight, invariably straight, and he holds like this, and he gives the this is how he naturally stands all the time. Yeah, fourth person. And the two persons say that we never feel some comfort with you. You always give us an order that you are a superior person than us. Why? They ask him. So the fourth person said, because I am superior. No. This guy is ill, that guy's property is damaged, mom was not very much okay with you, and so many things happened, but we both still believe in it. And for that the person says, you don't have a choice. So the answering and response were all not that much acceptable, and it was not comfortable for them. So now they both start feeling a little irritated, and they say that you got to be nice and kind to us, because we are your friends. And now the fourth person says, so do you think everything has happened naturally? So don't you think I have been doing something? So you feel that I will be obeying all your words? Is that why I have come here from the hill? So these kinds of questions start making their mind in a different way. But they are panicked. Now the person starts saying something which has really made these two people think that he is really inhumane. Because he says, do you want to know what's going on in the room right now? Where your friend is ill? Do you want to know what's going on in Stanley's room? So now these people both the people, innocent people, started, feeling a little awkward. Oh my God, I think they are in serious trouble. In comes one more person and the last person of the story. That person, the name of the person is Sarvesh. Sarvesh, S-A-R-V-E-S-H. So the name of the person is Sarvesh. And Sarvesh is 59 years old. He just all of a sudden comes into Stanley's bungalow. And these two people run towards Sarvesh. Hey, boy. How does the security allow you to be? Interesting fact is that the moment this fourth guy saw this last guy who was coming inside the bungalow, the fourth guy starts giving this move. Okay? But these two people don't know what he was doing, so they were asking. So Sarvesh was very, very pleasant and like, no, let me explain. End of the story, and you have to give the conclusion for this. No. There are 3 questions, and you need to give me the answers for 3 questions. Question number 1. Question number 1. I'll type this down. First question, how does the story end? The கதை எப்படி முடிப்பீங்க? எப்படி வேணும்? 3 questions answer. எந்த team best answers இந்த 3 questions கொடுக்குறீங்களோ, that team will have more mark. Entering participants நீங்க 3 பேர் உங்க டீமுக்கு, அவங்க டீம்ல அவங்க 3 பேர். ஹெல்ப் பண்றது யார் வேணாலும் எப்ப வேணாலும் எஸ் டீம் சொன்னா மட்டும் நீங்க. கிரண், விதாஸ்ரீ, சஞ்சய் பாபு. பார்க்கலாம், நான் கொஸ்டின் சொல்லிடுறேன். Second question. How do you handle that guy? அவன் என்ன பிரச்சனை? எதனால இப்படி நடக்குது? How are you going to handle? உங்க லைஃப்ல இந்த மாதிரி ஒரு நெகட்டிவ் ரேடியேட்டிங் பர்சன் வந்தா அவனை எப்படி டீல் பண்ணுவீங்க with the gunner attitude? And how are you going to get rid of that person? Okay? So we have so many people like this. You are in a room and somebody just walks in and you will feel a negative radiation. You are in a room and somebody walks in and you will feel so relaxed and comfy. You are in a room and somebody walks in, you are feeling frightened. You are in a room when somebody walks in, you feel that a hero is here. You are in a room, when somebody walks in, you will feel all the worries that are present in the world. What's all this? These are all called as radiating aura. Radiating aura. Every single person has got this. Some people have got this very much positive. Some people have got this very much negative. So how do you deal with this? You cannot become a black magic expert to deal with this, but you can use your common sense. So how are you going to use your common sense for handling this guy? Third and final question. What's your learning from this entire story? And what is the takeaway from this particular story? In this in-ring contest, this story is a little bit strange one. So how do you take the takeaway? So this is the in-ring contest that's going to happen between Team Darshan Siddharth and Team Kiran. And the players are Darshan Siddharth, Vishnupriya, Brinda versus Kiran Nandita, Vita Sri and Sanjay Bhaskar. And the other people, when they are looking for yes team, they will help. There is no team talk. Instantaneously, the contest starts now. So the time, all you have is, என்னோட ஸ்டாப் கிளாக் வாட்சை செட் பண்ற வரைக்கும் தான் உங்களுக்கு டைம் இருக்கு. அதுக்கு ஒரு 30 செகண்ட் தான் வந்து.
It is 2 minutes.
What?
Please, sir.
What?
2 minutes.
What?
Sir,
Ah,
I have 2 questions, sir.
yes.
Sir, so my first question is that will you be asking us memory questions, sir, about the story?
Yeah, I'll be asking. That's in between. I'll be asking the questions if need arises. There will be a default 2 questions for each team, but I'm sure that you won't be you won't be forcing me to ask questions. If you are giving the answers properly and if you are making the story properly, then I don't think you will be frustrated. Okay.
Okay, sir. And my second question is that are me, Vitashri, and Sanjana, are we supposed to come together and make one solution for each one? Or can we each come up with our own and then come together?
There is no need for any organizing. No, you can cover up all the 3. How you cover, that's upon your wish. No problem.
Okay, sir.
Assemble, ready? Time is going to start.
சார் 3 பேர் எங்க வயசுல ஒவ்வொருத்தரா
அதான் கிரண் கேட்டாரு. அப்படி ஆர்கனைஸ்டா இருக்கணும் அவசியம் இல்லை. நாங்க 3 பேர் கவர் ஆகணும் அவ்வளவு. அதுதான். அதான் சார் நாங்க டிஃபரண்ட் ஒபினியன்ஸ் சொல்லுவோம். So whenever you need ST, you can call for the ST. From Team Kiran, we have Mitra, we have Siddharth to help, we have Guru Prasanna to help, we have Sibia. So that's how it is. Get ready. 3, 2, 1. Who speaks first? Team Kiran or Team Dakshin?
Sir, Team Dakshin can go ahead, sir.
Okay, so it's going to be 1 punch and 1 punch time. Okay, so you will say something and then I will ask Kiran to do, and then you will say and then ready up. Since Kiran has asked, you will go. 3, 2, 1, start. Brilliant. 3, 2, 1, go.
Sir, you should ask me question right there for cups.
No, you can straight away get into this.
சார்
No.
So the first solution is about the dad, sir. The person was the first person, that is Mahesh.
No.
The Mahesh and
Is she audible? Everybody?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
so the first problem is about the dad. The dad got accident. First
Okay.
first person's dad got met with an accident, and the
What's the first person's name?
Mahesh, the blue color house.
Oh, good.
So the dad was expecting the 4th person, that is green color cup, that is apple green color cup to himself, that he is a very negative vibration in the house. So that is the first say that my friend is he was a great person for me. He was a very good friend for me. He actually changed my life in the 16th century. He was saying the dialogue, sir. And immediately, without believing the parents, he went there. So here I feel that he should believe his parents because more than him, his parents know how the people will be in this world. So he should believe the parents. If he believes the parents, means that time itself he come to know that he was some bad vibration he came to us. As you mentioned in the story, after going to Sandy's club and Sandy, the person drowned, sir. Then only they have started respecting the fourth person after, sir. Instead of going too longer, they can make the story shorter by believing the father and mother of the person.
Okay, right. So Brinda has been taking 1 minute and 16 seconds for her version of solution thus far from Team Darshan Siddharth. Now Team Kiran gets the platform. So Team Kiran, so your time is 1:16. Yes. Yeah, and when it is starting, it will resume from 1:16. Now the timer is resuming for Team Kiran. Team Kiran, who is speaking first?
Vitashri and Sanjana, do either of you want to go first?
I can go.
Okay, Sanjana?
Okay, Kiran, you and Nitashri, anyone, you can start. 3, 2, 1, go. Fine.
I'll start, sir, because Vitashri said she wanted to go next. So I'd like to say how the story ends in for me. So previously, you all know that the 3 protagonists, which is Mahesh, Divakar, and Veera, these 3 have been very close friends and they've spent most of their lives together. So my ending is that after all their parents, all 3 of their parents have issues with Abdul, like after they find him in that specific tourist spot, they go to the mansion and Mahesh and Stanley, they have some suspicious feelings about Abdul. And then Sarvesh comes, and this is where I think that what should happen is Abdul is actually a ghost who is very jealous of the 3 friends because these 3 friends are very close. Sorry, sir?
Kiran, how can a ghost be jealous?
Sir. Let me finish. It's just jealous because it didn't have any friends. And then they see, and this person died. Abdul died because there was no one to help him up. So because let's say he suicided because he was very lonely. And then he sees these 3 people and he just feels very bad or jealous. So he just really wants to ruin it. And so Sarvesh is a priest who sees that Abdul is ruining the balance of life. And so Sarvesh comes in and he does his voodoo magic on Abdul, and Abdul goes away. The end.
All right. Okay, fine. So very tangible. 2 minutes and 8 seconds from Kiran's message, and for Kiran's message, and she says she's believing so much on Sarvesh's character. Fine. Point taken. Solution a little bit stronger. So now Kiran has taken 2 minutes and 8 seconds, while Team Darshan had taken only 1 minute and 16 seconds. So it's going to be risky. Now it's a shout from Team Darshan. Who's Vishnupriya? 3, 2, 1, go.
So I am going to say about how does the story end, sir. So as that is a part of the question. So my part is like once I concluded that Abdul gets scared of Sarvesh, and so my part is like Sarvesh is a person who found out the evil things from that was done on Abdul, and he's a police officer, and he has already so he has already known Abdul, and Abdul is a very big terrorist
who changes everyone's mind. So he has, as he has already known him, he has given him lots of warnings, but Abdul did not even think of it, and he did not even expect that Sarvesh should be here. And Sarvesh is a close friend of Stanley's. So once he just eventually came to visit Stanley, but once he saw Abdul here, he got shocked. Inquiring to all the three people and Stanley about how is he here. So then they say like he has treated us being as a friend. So then he Sarvesh does not postpone anything. So he immediately takes action on Abdul, and he has already fed up giving warnings to Abdul, but now he is not giving any warning. He is directly taking action on this. This is my participation.
Right, so 150 for Vishnupriya's answer. 2 questions have been covered. Brinda covered 1 question and Vishnupriya has covered 1 question, while Kiran has covered 1 question in Team Kiran. Dakshin class is waiting for the 3rd questions to be covered. After that, quick questions for both the teams and then we are done with this round. Now,
Should I answer only the questions?
I have a lot of questions.
Sir, you told that first person's problem, second person's problem, third person's problem should be clear. Then the questions which you gave at last. So I thought we should comment the order, sir.
No, it will take a long time if you are coming in the order. So, I will ask questions. After this, I will ask questions. In your team, 2 members have spoken. In their team, let 2 members speak. And then for the rest of the people, I will ask questions. Yeah, sure. You will be good. Will be good. So 160 by Brinda, 150 by Vishnupriya, 209 by
208 by 208.
Kalvida, Vishnupriya 150, 150, not 250.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Now, Kiran has occupied 2 minutes. Now, Vidashri is going to continue. Ready, Vidashri?
Yes, sir.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. Start.
So, I guess I'm gonna go based on Karen's ending of the story. So I'll be answering like how to handle the person, Abdul. So in Karen's story, Sarvesh is a priest, and Abdul is a ghost, and so obviously the priest would have to exorcise Abdul. But in order to do this, he must be captured, and that's why, with the help of all the other 4 people living in the mansion, they will be able to try and capture Abdul. But the thing is that he can obviously try to escape, and since he's a ghost, he can do that. And because Sarvesh came unexpectedly, he might not have known that Abdul was going to be here, and so Sarvesh would have to have done many things to keep Abdul in the house and not escape, but he might not have done that because he might not have known that Abdul was actually in the house, and so Abdul would try to escape, and but yes, sir. That's all I have to say for now.
It's okay. It's okay. Relax. We are able to get your point. 147 by Vidashri, time taken, and she has given a very commendable solution, aligning with what Kiran Nandita had mentioned. So, any other points to be added, Vidashri?
No, sir.
All right. Yeah, he answered the second question. Now, we are again coming to Team Dakshin Siddharth, where Dakshin wants to share his solutions, and he has his own ways of explaining. So, please understand that none of the team have gone for any ST thus far, like Purna, Advai, Sibi, Vanilla, Guru Prasanna, Mitra, they have all been remaining very idle only. So, let's go for the farm continuation. Team Dakshin Siddharth. Are you ready?
Yes.
What's the time?
Sorry.
What was the time?
Totally 10 minutes for a team.
You know, sir, what's the time?
147. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay.
So thank you. Now, good evening, sir. Good evening, friends. Sir, I have answers for all the three questions, sir. The first one is how does the story end? So I will give a quick overview of how the story should end, in my opinion. Then with the moral also, sir. The first, Abdul is actually a tourist guide in that particular tourist spot, sir. And his job is to cheat and manipulate people and do money laundering and stuff, sir. And he has already cheated a lot of people by getting close to them and hacking their accounts and stuff, sir. So when these three people come, Abdul, now the first part will be from Abdul's point of view, sir. Abdul thinks that we can add these three people to my list as well. I can cheat them and I can take away some money from them. And then he gets close with them, sir. And those three friends also believe in him. They take him along with them, and in this particular process, he keeps laundering the money from them and he keeps cheating them, sir. And then that's why he had a sort of negative aura around him, sir, because sometimes our thoughts reflect as our aura, and so people start feeling the radiation, sir. So if we witness a person with bad thoughts before us, we start getting some negative vibes, sir. So that was the thing which the parents of three people noticed, sir. And then slowly, when these people moved to the Stanley's bungalow, and then when all the weird circumstances started happening, then finally what happens is Sarvesh comes in, sir. And Sarvesh is the person who was cheated by him earlier, sir. And then the person four, that is Abdul, starts realizing that something bad is going to happen, sir. Then what happened is, person Abdul himself voluntarily walked into a trap, sir. Those three people were actually agents, sir, from law. And 1 second, sir, fully complete. And then they pretended to befriend Abdul because Abdul was in the most wanted list for a long time, sir. And then he was living in a low-key manner to protect himself in a very small tourist spot, sir. So now I narrated from the perspective of the three people, sir, the three the three lawyers.
We have only 40 minutes.
40? So 10 minutes.
ஆமாடா இவருக்கு 10 minutes வந்துட்டு உன்னோட ஷேர் வந்து 3 minutes தான் 3
So 2 minutes section. Yes, sir. And then the three people befriend Abdul and they catch him in his, they make him fall in their trap, and then they act all of this. The weird circumstances were actually acted out by these three people to make Abdul believe that he's in the right place, sir, so that to remove any sort of suspicions. But then Abdul didn't realize that he was in a trap, and finally when he sees Sarvesh, he gets deja vu, sir, that he has cheated this guy Sarvesh. And then finally what happens is Sarvesh had complained about him to the police officers, sir, and they took help of Rod to get, or let's not go too far, also they're undercover cops, sir. And then they got the help of the cops to finally catch hold of Abdul, sir. The moral is, treat others the way you want to be treated, sir. And so now Abdul will receive the same treatment, and now he felt the pain which Sarvesh felt on this.
Right.
Yes, sir. That's the first thing, sir. You know, render sir. Which one?
Hey.
Sir, please, sir.
இப்போ மத்தவங்க இருந்தா எப்பறம் நான் சான்ஸ் கொடுப்பேன்.
Sir, render sir. Tap.
டேய் டைம் ஆயிடுச்சுனா அதுவும் மைண்ட் சொல்லு.
Sir, okay. Render.
இத சொல்லிட்டாங்கல்ல. அப்ப எதுக்கு மறுபடியும் வந்து நீ அதே சொல்லிட்டு இருக்க? Why do you grind the same stuff? They have given their solution.
Okay.
ஏதோ புதுசா ஏதாவது சொல்றாங்க.
புதுசா.
புதுசா நானும் நிறைய புதுசா சொல்லிட்டா. Come back. Okay. See, you have to work on a smart process. Team members வந்துட்டு ஒரு சொல்யூஷனை கவர் பண்ணியாச்சுன்னா மறுபடியும் why do you beat around the bush? திரும்ப வந்து நீங்க சொல்ற சொல்யூஷன் கவர் சொல்லணும். Team Kiran. Sanjay Bhaskar, what's going on with him? Sarvesh is a monk. He recognizes the problem and tries to explain the science behind it. He offers to help Abdul. Since Abdul is a traditional guide, he accepts and cooperates with Sarvesh and his friends. Abdul was cured and made positive in the end with the help of few traditional ways. Happy ending. Good, Sanjay.
Super Sanjana.
Well done, Sanjana.
Alright, boys and girls, everybody has finished contributing their ideas, all the 6 members. Question time. So, I am neutrally setting up a time for the questions. So, one question to Kiran, Vidashri.
Well, actually, Karen raised her hand first, so.
Kiran.
Sir, can I just 20 seconds? Can I say the last question solution?
With the kind of the style that you have in your speaking, 20 seconds will not be enough for you, Kiran. So, I'll give you 20 seconds. Go.
Thank you, sir. Sir, so going from Sanjayana's story, sir, basing it off of Sanjayana's story, for the third question, which is you're learning from this, sir, I'd say nothing can't be fixed because Abdul was previously a very negative person, but then this monk, he comes in and tries to help everyone, and he also succeeds by helping Abdul come out of the negative energy and going into positive energy. So nothing can't be fixed, and having a mindset that this can't be fixed will only make you fail, and anything is possible.
Okay, right. Everybody has their own device problem. If possible, try to help. What's that about? I don't understand.
Sir, the third solution, sir, I think so. The third problem solution.
Right. Okay, fine. Thank you, Kiran. That was very good value addition, and that's surely going to put some icing on the cake for your scores. Good. Now,
thanks.
Questions? Yeah. I'll start with Team Dakshin Siddharth because just now Kiran finished. And this question is towards Dakshin Siddharth's teammate Ritan. Of course, the entering contestants have did their way. So Ritan Nitesh, you have listened to the story, and I want you to have an overview of the story. And in the modern world, things like this happen. So if you grow up and you become an youngster, if at all you grow up as an youngster. When you grow up as an youngster, how do you think you can deal with these kinds of evil attributes?
Yeah. So if you're saying that I'm becoming a friend with evil guy, I'm witnessing our friend.
No, they fall into the trap of becoming the friend. So if you are one among those 3 main individuals, how do you deal with the situation? That's what I mean.
Sir, can I add on?
When Team Kiran's turn comes, you can. Come on.
Wonderful.
One of the 3 friends said I have just probably obey my parents because more than me they have the advantage of their lifestyle because they know what is good and what is bad. And in the 3 of the stories, in the stories we said 3 members went to their own houses and they said we don't want to and but they said without knowing what is going to happen or who is inside, they just saw him and they just something to say. So we have to trust our parents. If we are trusting our parents, they just want to explain it. They just say why be fixes. So with that in the future we are not going to go into any of this. So I'm going to trust my parents and what they are going to say there. And after that I'm going to ask them why did you say like that? How is your best friend as a judge? Okay, that's it. So they are going to explain this. So after that we hear why I should not be friend with the evil person.
Okay. Right. Good.
Well done, Ritan.
Question now to Team Kiran. And I would like to ask this question to the in-ring contestant, Vitashri. So my question to Vitashri is, Ritan was trying to answer a question how he will deal with. And what question I am asking is, there are a few segments of people in the world who don't even believe that these kinds of things are existing. And, one person spreading out the negativity cannot happen. That's what some segment of people in the world believe. And there is another segment of people who are, apart from the technological growth, who still believe that there are plenty of people who can do these kinds of negative ailments. Which belief is right in your opinion, Vitashree?
Sir, I believe that there are people who are like this, and there have been for centuries, and it will always continue to happen because the world can't be perfect. And I believe that you're born to be who you are. You're born to be perfect, real, not perfect. So the world can be perfect, and there will definitely be people who are just themselves, and being themselves, they are bad in the views of society. And sometimes those people don't learn, or either they know that they're being bad but still continue to do it, or they just don't care and just continue to do what pleases them and what
Good.
answer their ideals.
Right. Good job, Vitashree. Well
Well
done.
done, Vitashri. Thank you, sir.
Well done, Vitashri.
So interesting to hear that it has been for centuries. Yeah, that's invariably true. Okay. Now, coming down to Team Dakshin Siddharth. Purna. Purna.
Yes, sir.
Well, Purna, if you were person number one, father met with an accident, and the father does not want the boy to be inside the house, and if you were the friend, how do you think you would have tackled your dad who is raising the complaint against this stranger when you were so innocent and you were plain-minded that the friend cannot harm you? So how would you have dealt with that situation if you were in the shoes of that person?
Well, sir, maybe my dad, who is person, maybe he knows that something is wrong with the friend. He has like some concerns. So if I really believe that he was innocent, I would probably defend him. But if I had seen some kind of suspicious activity with my friend, I would probably listen to my dad.
Right, that's good. Thank you. Good job, Purna. Okay, so now let's come to Team Kiran and Dita. And I would like to ask a question to Mitra. So initially I was planning this question for Mohit Senthilkumar, but then I have changed my mind and I am asking you because you are more even-minded than Mohit. So that is why I am asking this question to you. So when you are with the tricky-minded people, self-motivation gets down. When there are tricky-minded people around you and when they are trying to make a trick, when they are trying to conspire something, the self-motivation gets down. And you climb up four steps in the ladder and you are pulled down to 8. And because of this, your self-esteem goes for the toss, your self-motivation goes for a toss. And as a teenager, what do you think an youngster should do for keeping the mantle of self-motivation on a very productive basis? What's the solution?
Good evening, sir. So there can be a lot of solutions that can be suggested for this problem, sir. Some can be a psychological approach like therapy, sir. But I'm getting out of those and I'm giving a solution, sir. So I wanted to add this particular solution for the question that you asked, thank you, sir. So that I'm combining that solution with this problem because that solution suits very well, sir. Being aware of these type of things, sir. Sometimes, like a few years ago, people were really afraid of when they hear that their devices has been when they hear that their device has been hacked, sir, a few people fear about that, sir. But now it has become very common, sir. But first during this time, when we have a surrounding or an environment where we have these type of tricky people, sir, at first we would feel uncomfortable. So therefore, one solution that we could use being aware, sir. So some people have a lot of aspects, sir, and some people consider one thing, sir, making an analysis, sir. That is, whatever field they are getting into it, or whatever aspect they are getting into it, sir, they have to take an analysis, sir. And we have even made a video on SWOT analysis, sir. So this can be this SWOT analysis is applied mostly for entrepreneurs, sir, because to start their entrepreneurship and their own businesses, sir. So we can also apply that in our daily life, sir. We can come to know about our strengths, our weaknesses, our opportunities and our threats, sir. Even if we apply it on our friendship also, sir, then we will be aware. Everyone has their own smart way of thinking, sir. their mindset and everyone's thought process is very different, sir. So when they do these type of analysis, they would become too much aware about how their friends are and what their relationship is. Even if it gets too much to an extreme, sir, they would have the capability and eligibility to control that, sir. So if they make these types of analysis and then if they are being mentally very strong, sir, then they could apply this at any situation and they could easily get out of even if it is any relationship.
Good job, very nice. Nice answer. Thank you so much. Well done.
Well done, Mitra.
Super Mitra.
Thank you.
One last question before we go to the next team contestants. I have people waiting in the line, so let's develop. Team Kiran can answer, Team Darshan can answer. It is up to the team to decide who will answer. They will have to decide. An unspoken person, if he or she speaks, I will be really happy. So Darshan Siddharth is a crocodile, so he will consume more time. Right, jokes apart, if he wants to speak, he can also speak. But I have 2 minutes, just 2 minutes for both the teams. In 4 minutes, everything has to be completed. And after the questioning, I will be putting on the time. The common question that I would like to ask for Team Darshan Siddharth and Team Kiran Aditya is pretty simple. Like, life offers a lot of troubles and struggles. And when it is through the form of people, it becomes even more aggravated. So, fear kills more people than any vulnerable weapons that kills people. How do you think, or what do you think as youngsters, as the most happening teenagers who are going to carry the entire world in the future? What can we do for keeping the fear to a certain limit level? Because fear is a kind of a poisonous feeling that cripples you, that puts you into a lot of trouble. It takes a piece of you every time it comes into you. And like Abdul comes into your life, fear gets magnified, aggravated, your normal routine of your life is being disturbed. Fear is more tangibly dangerous than even worry. Fear is more dangerous even than insecure feeling. Fear is more dangerous than laziness. Fear is more dangerous than any weakness that could put you down from your peak performance level. So I want a good solution from both of your teams to not fight the fear, not destroy the fear, but keep the fear on check on a consistent basis and remain strong like your value. How is that going to be possible? That's my question.
So only one person answers in the team.
I only have, 4 minutes can be taken as 5 minutes. And in that 5 minutes, both the teams will have to answer. Whole MS evening session, Lord is raising hands.
Yes, sir, I will.
We will go one by one to everybody and everybody will get marked.
Thank you, sir. Then I was
Fine, okay. So then everybody in the direct session has raised hand. Kalpita Sri has raised hand. Guru Prasanna, Siddharth. Yeah, that's pretty much. Kiran. Okay, so in the online platform, Kalpita from Team Dakshin, Guru Prasanna from Team Kiran, Siddharth from Team Kiran, Kiran from Team Kiran. Everybody from Team Dakshin, Siddharth. Here. Yes. I'm here. Mohit Sandan Kumar from Team Kiran. Okay, Mohit is speaking, Siddharth is speaking, Guru is speaking, of course. Okay, right, fine. So we'll start with Team Dakshin Siddharth, and the person who has not spoken thus far from Team Dakshin Siddharth, Kalpita Sri will answer this first. Kalpita?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, I think keeping fear is important, sir, but it has to be in limit. For instance, to make it very simple, you have your exams tomorrow and you haven't prepared for that yet, sir. But you have sometimes have fear when it is a direct session. You have to meet your parents when it comes to report card, and you have to face your teachers. And if you are a person who studies really well and you score nothing in this, so there is a fear coming there, sir. So it has to be handled very well. For that, you have to take control of your thoughts, sir.
because the thought is that one which changes into habit, then character, and it becomes a daily routine and schedule to have that thought appearing and popping up at that particular time. The first thing is that when you are taking control of your thought, you have to make sure that you take that thought as the motivator and to boost up your upcoming performances, sir. So if you have, it's suppose you have fear now, and you have to take that and you have to maintain that spirit, but make sure to that doesn't exceed the limits, sir. So for handling fear, when it comes to psychology, there are a lot of ways that you already know, sir, and few you have taught us, sir. The one is fear thrashing technique, sir, and including positive affirmations in your daily life, and three picture technique will also be very helpful, sir. And sometimes it would be better if you engage yourself in spiritual things and meditation, sir. So these are the solutions I have, sir.
Beautiful. That's very good, Kalpita. Good job. Nice.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir. Thank you, friends.
Let's shift our focus to Team Kiran, and Siddharth Saranakumar from Team Kiran is now going to give his opinion. Siddharth.
Yes, sir. Okay. So for my suggestion of like going against your fear would be just to look at fear a different way. If your fear is like a lion, then just draw some doodles in your head, draw doodles on its face, make it look funny to you. And then later in the future, you can make it so that the lion looks different completely. If it's a lion, then you can make it look like something else that's funny, like the Joker, somehow. It all depends on how you look at it, another perspective. That's all I have to say.
Good. That's a very good perspective, seeing the funny side of it, and I really appreciate that. You're more like your dad, because your dad has got that attitude, and he even mentioned that to me. Siddharth Saranakumar has always been the best in giving big solutions in a short form. So, anyways, good job. Contributed well. Now, let's come back to Team Russian Siddharth. Yeah.
Well done.
Risha J has. Risha,
Yes, sir.
you're ceding your chance, right? By raising hand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. I'll come back to you. Now, let's go to Team Dakshin Siddharth. And from Team Dakshin Siddharth, in the online farm, after Kalpita, I don't have anybody. So, Anjana? Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Okay. Very good morning. Yeah, I'm much better after you have come. Thank you. அவளை நான் பார்த்து கிளாஸ் வந்துட்டியாமா அப்படின்னு ஆமா அவெல்லாம் பண்ண மாட்டான் நான் தான் செய்வேன். Okay. What up? Dakshin Siddharth's team, it's now Vishnupriya.
So my solution for handling fear is actually you said like we have to keep the fear inside, sir. So we cannot always ignore fear, sir. There will be fear in our lives, sir. So just while the fear comes, we should have a deviation or a distraction, sir. Like while you are getting fear, you should have we have to be having some prelude thinking that if this fear comes, we have to do this. So the hobbies, we have to focus on our hobby or whatever we wish to do. So if some person has a fear, he likes to draw, he has to go draw that time. So if that time he would definitely not get the fear, like instead he would only concentrate on drawing, sir. So like that he or she has to focus on that, sir. So that is my solution.
That's good. Well done. Focus. Sheer focus. Fine. So many good solutions. Now, let's get on with the flow. Team Kiran, Mohit Sandhukumar, your thoughts.
Okay, sir. So first of all, sir, you must know if your fear is a phobia, sir. If it's a phobia, sir, you have to start taking effects against, sir, because phobias are permanent, but fear is something that lasts for a long time, but it's impermanent, sir. You have to understand your fears, sir. Fear can't be good, sir, or bad, but it can be something that we can use to help us make decisions, sir, but better decisions, sir. We cannot have let us be influenced by fear, sir, and we should not fight the fear, sir. We should embrace it, sir, and we should like lessen the fear, sir. We should accept the fear. We should talk about it, and we should not try to be perfect and fight the fear. We should name the fear, like what are we scared of, what is making us feel weird, and we need to get help from people that we trust, sir.
Fantastic point. That's a real good solution. Good job.
Very well done.
Very well done,
Thank you,
Moses.
sir.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's right. Commanding voice. I appreciate it and I recognize that. Now, from Team Dakshin Siddharth, Advait Ravi raised the hand just now. So, since he has not spoken so far, Advait is belonging to Kiran's team. Why are you making mistakes like this? You got to be really alert. Advait is in Kiran's team. How many times I have?
You said that, sir.
I was just correcting him. Okay, fine. So, Mohit has just spoken, so we cannot ask Advait to speak now because he's also belonging to Team Kiran. Team Dakshin Siddharth. So,
I think we all know that. It's just you that didn't know that.
Erra. Okay, so right, jokes apart, from Team Dakshin Siddharth, it's been a while since Brinda has spoken to
So, nowadays it's material world, sir. People are believing the people are believing lot in a person who is spreading negativity than spreading the positivity, sir. The example is social media, sir. Nowadays, the youngsters are dumped into the whole education is dumped into a device, sir, so that they come across lot of news and they know lot of news, sir. And even social media spread the news which make them too panic, sir. The only solution is keep everything to the limit, and while the fear comes up, in starting itself we should kill the fear, sir. Like we want to face the fear and we want to face the fear in starting itself we have to kill the fear, and we want to know what's actually what's actually surrounded with us, whether it's negativity or positivity. We should keep a positive atmosphere around us, so that will even make us that will not make us more panic, and that will not make us too much fear about whatever thing happened to us. Even it may be a small thing, we will be so fear if we got lot of phobias and negative thinking. So, but if we create positive atmosphere around us, sure we will come across fears. And this instead, if they reduce using phones and if they keep positive atmosphere by listening to your voice like the YouTube channel. Because they want to search about more therapies. And they, not only your channel, there are a lot of persons who spoke about this in the YouTube, and if they started following the Insta will analyze that they have fear and they have to face it, sir, and in future, sure, they will keep their fear in the limit, sir. And I think they will even know to handle how to handle fear, sir.
Very nice solution, Brinda. Very nice. Good job.
Well
Well
done,
done,
Brinda.
Brindaka.
Well done, Brindaka.
Yeah, right. Best part of the solution is she started with the paradigm that in the materialistic world, people are getting. So that's a real good thing. That's what is mentioned. Advait, who is belonging to Team Kiran, now will give his part of solution.
Okay, so probably like before Indian batch wasn't connected to the US batch. So one time you asked, I think, Borna, what is your fear, and then she said something about darkness, and then you asked her to question her. Probably you can question yourself, why why is this fear, and like what does this do to you, and like you can question, and then probably that'll probably lower the fear. So yeah, well, that's a short solution.
But just question yourself, and then you'll probably lower your fear.
What Advait is mentioning is one of the US batch sessions where myself and Purna had a conversation about how to go ahead with the fear, and Purna said about her fear, and I asked Purna to question the fear. So I'm really happy and I appreciate Advait for remembering that so vividly, and he has brought that in the right time. So good job, Advait. I really appreciate that. So question the fear. Yeah. All right, so keep questioning the fear. So that is what is Advait's solution, and that's a very, very strong solution. Now let's move on to Team Darshan Siddharth. Darshan Siddharth himself will give his share of the solution.
Thank you, sir. So, I've divided the thing into 3 sections, sir. First, I will give the reasons, common reasons why we get the fear, sir. And second one, I will combine my answer with the previous story which you mentioned, sir, the last 2 questions, and be connected in a way, sir. The third one is solutions from MSES, sir. The first reasons are, sir, number one, hype, sir. Nowadays, in news and media channels, a lot of things are hype, sir. For instance, once Donald Trump, he taunted North Korea's leader Kim Jong-un. He called him Little Rocket Man, sir. For that, people started hyping up that there's going to be World War III between America and North Korea, and then people started having a fear, sir. But then, we are not Trump, sir. What kind of person he is, and that sort of thing never actually happened, sir. And then hype, sir. And then second was half-baked knowledge about something, sir. When we are not fully accustomed to one particular subject, we start taking it in a negative way, and we start assuming about things which might never happen, sir. The third one is tendency of being taken aback so easily, sir. We get so impacted and influenced by something to which we are in contact with for a few seconds, sir. So there are people who have an unstable mind who overthink. Due to that, they get a lot of fear, sir. When you keep thinking about something, you get fear about that, sir. Like what you think about most shall come to pass as a quote like that, sir. And then the next one is bad past, sir. And for that, always Gaussian method is a good solution, sir. And then inexperience, sir. So these are some of the reasons, sir. The common reasons why we get major failures. Then second section is answering the last 2 questions, sir. Like how to handle the fears which are caused by a person who suddenly enters into our life, sir. So first one is being choosy, sir. We need to be choosy in whatever we do, in the number of persons we encounter. We need to choose always the right person to interact with, sir. Our parents and our grandparents know much more than us about this, and they instantly ask us to cut down a friendship if it's bothering us, sir. The next one is the thing which I mentioned earlier is being taken aback, sir, by external appearances. So in Merchant of Venice, there's a character called Bassanio who speaks about this, sir. It's an example of a bird called throstle, sir, and it builds its wall on builds its nest on a wall. Thinks that the wall is strong enough, sir. But when it builds its nest on the wall, it's exposed to all the natural climatic tragedies and stuff. So when it rains, the nest might get destroyed. When a heavy wind blows, the nest might get destroyed, sir. But it doesn't think about all that when it builds because it's taken aback by the external appearance of the wall, sir. So it does not think about the dangers which it might face in the future, sir. So people like this often experience fear, sir. The next one is being self-confident, sir. And I would like to give an example of Bruce Lee, sir. Since he's one of your idols. So once when Bruce Lee was teaching Kung Fu in America, one of the Chinese masters there challenged him and said that if I beat you in a contest, then you'll stop teaching Kung Fu to Americans. But if I win, then you have to leave this place and you have to stop practicing Kung Fu. And then Bruce Lee defeated him within 3 minutes, sir. And then he was very sad, sir. And then all of them asked, all his disciples asked, why are you so sad? You just won a match. It took 3 minutes for me to defeat him. This is my longest time. And then he started thinking of in such a way. So we need that confidence, sir. That's why a lot of people admire people like Bruce Lee and Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson once, what happened was he in the later part of his life, he loved being surrounded by children, sir. But then some of the relatives of the children started putting false accusation on Michael Jackson and got him into trouble, sir. So it's like he just gave his unconditional love to the children and he felt betrayed, sir. So due to that, but he did not let that he did not convert that as a fear that would haunt him later. So he came out of it strongly, sir. So we can these cover up the last two questions of the story, sir. Then final section is I'll give up some MSES solutions and some of the videos which you posted, sir. And you mentioned about using anchors, sir. Like we can even use our mobile phone wallpapers as our anchors, and right from the chain which we put on, right from that to the photos which we own, to the wallpaper, everything can be used as an anchor, sir. So even that could help us. And autocratic leadership, sir. Autocratic leadership, the people who have themselves and they don't care about the consequences, so they have no fear. They just execute their ideas, sir. Then a last key method to get rid of the bad past. And you mentioned a video about depression, sir, where you made us clear that there's nothing called like now if there are a lot of misconceptions saying that 90% of the people in the society are suffering from depression, then everyone must die, sir. Then if everyone has true depression, they won't have the courage to continue, right? But we hype up the things and say that just if for one day we come across something bad, we say that I'm under depression and we start getting into all those misconceptions. So then you mentioned that you are not under clinical depression. You are either stuck up in one of the stages which I mentioned, like that you said in that video, sir. And if that video is watched by a lot of people, they'll come out of this nonsense. So these are some.
Well done, Dr. Anna.
Very well done, Dr. Anna.
Great job, Dr. Anna.
Thank you.
Wonderful set of solutions, and I always admire his solutions from MSES sessions. That makes me feel special. Sometimes I even wonder I have taught so many things. And right now he mentioned about the video. He keeps following the video. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. So,
Well done, Anna.
now let's move on to Team Mitra. And Mitra will give the solution for the fear.
Yes.
We have got so many people in the line. We will finish that and only then we are going to the next contest. We will finish this and then we will see the scores of every single person and then we go to the last final round. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
Mitra.
Sir, I would like to get one example that you taught in 2020, sir. In the starting in January month, we were making a research about coronary series, sir. You would be showing the videos and we are supposed to make the presentation, present it as a skit, sir. In the first video that you actually shared, sir, that is at your age 1949, sir. In that, the solution that you gave towards the person, sir, that person's behavior was known as infantile reaction, sir. The major solution that was present in that video was about to make a maturity lesson, sir. Each month they have to evaluate themselves, sir. So I would like to incorporate that into this problem, sir. If they are making analysis is different and making these types of evaluation is different, sir. Evaluation is from their own perspective, sir. Like whenever we write a summary or something, sir, we write it from our perspective, from our point of view, what our mind says, sir. And it's similar to that, sir. Each month you have to just take a check on that, sir. You have to evaluate yourself, how much you are handling fear than the previous month. What fear are you having, and have you solved the previous fear that you had in the previous month, sir? Like evaluation, sir. The second one is knowledge, sir. They have to increase their knowledge, sir. Some people just say information that's not authentic, sir. Like authenticity can be mostly applied to these some types of authenticated news, sir, like Friends of India, the Hindu, and lot more like those, sir. But people, when they say local channels or things that are not authenticated, they spread the news, and that's how, sir. So if we read lot of books and if we engage ourselves and if we know how to incorporate the knowledge, when to actually incorporate that knowledge, sir, we will be well versed in how to handle these types of fears, sir. The third one is investigation, sir. While they have to, advice had already mentioned this, sir. Before the itself, I took notes of those, sir. That is asking the questions and interrogating themselves, sir. If they have a break time and if, like in the first half, sir, they have a fear, sir, and in the break time they have around 5 minutes. 5 minutes is more than enough, sir. They must ask questions to themselves, sir. Why the fear has arised and what arose, what the reason behind it. Is there anyway the key he or she could solve it himself. Sir. There is a research, sir. I made it in the name, sir. About Albert Einstein, sir. He used his brain the most in this world, sir. Then in the autopsy report, when they actually made a research on his brain, sir, he has used most of his brain at all the time, sir. He being a scientist, by that only he had like incorporated a lot of formulas, sir. And he has used his brain a lot, and people must actually take it as an inspiration, sir. They, like when they read books, they improve their knowledge, sir. And when the knowledge keeps increasing, life is all about learning experience, sir. So each time they learn about the book, they must actually analyze, then evaluate themselves, and write a review. There are a lot of aspects of reading and increasing or improving our knowledge, sir. If they follow these solutions and be a very good person in nature in their life, sir, I think they would definitely handle their fields. Thanks. Very well done, Mitra.
Wonderful insight.
Well done.
Very well done, Mitra.
Well done, Mitra.
Well done, Mitra.
Well done.
Good job, good
Very
job.
well done,
Very
Mitra.
nice. Dakshan, Siddharth, Mitra, Kalpita, these people are crocodiles and they always take a lot of time in explaining things. Now, Brinda is gradually becoming a crocodile too.
Tiger line of course.
Yeah, crocodile so.
Yes.
It consumes a lot. Tiger line எல்லாத்தை விட மனுஷன் தான் பெரிய ஆறு Right, okay, so time now we have Team Dakshin Siddharth, and from Team Dakshin Siddharth we have Ratan Nitish who would like to give Come on, fast. We don't have time. Come on. We still have Guru Prasanna and Prisha to speak in Team Kiran. Come on.
Sir, my solution for fear is, sir, I'm having two solutions there. So, first, instead of locking up and locking the fear, sir, instead of just open up the fear, sir, and we just experience that, sir. So, with that, we automatically will be able to know the solution for the fear, sir. So, with that, we will control the fear and make the fear in our way, sir, not as enemy, and we don't have to make the fear and like, if the fear comes here, we will be like, what are we going to do, and like an upside situation there. So because of that, we don't have to start the fear. We have to open up the fear and be the fear state. So my second solution, sir, for the fear state, it's the opposite is happiness and good thinking, sir, good thinking, sir. If fear is coming, sir, we'll be already thinking that this is going to happen. If we are doing this, teachers will know. Teachers going to scold us, and teachers are going to get to know this thing. Parents also going to scold us. So this we are going to make the fear stop there. We are at the starting to
replacement thing.
Yes, sir. So with this, the starting of the whole problem, we have to read through and say the things we have to say to the teacher. The first, we are not knowing the few things, we have to just say it frankly. Instead of which we are saying one lie. With the one lie, we have to go thousands of lies as a backbone of the.
Take a breather.
So this is the second.
Good job. So many solutions hand over to the world as far as fear management is concerned. Prisha, you're next before Guru Prasanna. Come on, Prisha.
Okay, sir. So, sir, I have two small solutions I personally use. Well, I've been using these ever since I was little, sir. So, like, one of them Mohit already said, but I'd just like to add on, sir. So, my first one was to name my fear, sir. So if I say my fear out loud, or if I write it down somewhere, or just focus on it, sir, then my fear sort of shrinks. Because like I believe that when you try to ignore your fear, it grows. and when you face it, it shrinks. So like that that helps her. And my second method, I guess, would be to visualize. This I use a lot before I'm going to do performances, sir. I mostly do dance, so like it's in front of a lot of people, and so I visualize, sir. I sort of visualize myself going on stage, and then like I dance perfectly, and then everyone claps, and everything turns out perfectly fine, and then like that reduces my fear from like a 10 to like around a 4, sir. So that was my second method, sir.
All of them are displacements, like dancing, for instance, as you mentioned, is a displacement. Displacement is a very good therapy, like showing the act towards something else, or showing the fear towards, when there is fear, how many people in this room, both in the Skype room and in the real room, when you go scream at somebody in order to rattle them, they will scream back at you. How many people have seen this or witnessed? And there are few categories of people. Yeah, there are few categories of people. When you make them fear, they will slap you or they will punch you. They will. Mitra had to enjoy in an exhibition. You remember? Yeah, there was an exhibition, and I took Mitra there. She was 10 years old or something. 10 years old or something in 2016 or 2017. I don't remember. Mitra wanted to walk into that, the ghost room or something. All exhibitions have that, right? So she wanted to do that. I denied that. I refused to come, but she took me. What happened was there was a problem. So there was a guy who was completely dressed in a different way. Like you keep walking, you pay 50 rupees and you walk inside and you get yourself rattled and come out, and that's a game there. So I paid 50 rupees just for this little insect here, and I walked along with her. And one guy pounced on me, by Utranama. I punched him. I punched him and he fell down. And that was a very big issue. He came jumping, and I gave a punch like this, and he went back with the elasticity kind of physics effect, and he fell down. Mitra started crying, and Mitra was, she got rattled. More than the ghost, she was rattled by looking at me, right? So then we came out, and I was apologizing to him. I was apologizing to the administrator. Thankfully, one of the administrators knew me that I was a trainer and I was a college professor, so they left me. Otherwise, they would have torn me into pieces. So I just wanted to protect Mitra, okay? So he just jumped in. So that's the kind of fear management. What Prisha mentioned was a displacement. So what I did was foolish thing. That was not displacement. That was, fairy mechanism. But displacement is trying to give a little bit of a change or drift towards something else. So I really appreciate that, Prisha. Good job. Last.
Well done, Prisha.
Thank you, everyone.
Last, but by no means the least, Guru Prasanna is handing the solution. Come on, Guru.
Yes, sir. Sir, before giving my solution, I'll just tell my perspective of fear, sir. Sir, I believe fear is not true, sir. Sir, if we do anything wrong, means we can be frightened of that, sir. Fearing but fear is not true, sir. Just our imagination, sir. Sir, but even though many people are frightened of some things, sir. So my solution is to face the fears, sir. So if we face the fears, sir, I think we would be easily we could be easily come across the fears, sir.
Okay. So you say that fear is a myth, fear is an illusion, and it's just our imagination. That's a good way to see Guru Prasanna. Well done. Very well done.
Well done, Guru. Well done, Guru.
Well done, Guru Prasanna.
Fear management, that interface alone has taken 37 minutes. So let's get on with it. The Indian contestants Dakshin Siddharth, Brinda, Vishnupriya, Vitashri, Kiranandita and Sanjay Bhaskar, they did really well. Now let's get on with the scores of both Kiranandita's team and Dakshin Siddharth's team. And I'm going to give the score for...
Sir, did Archana they have ideas?
I don't know. If they had ideas, they were very simple. If you remember, Prisha and Eveg gave last minute. I cannot elongate this just because you have to get a full score for it. Now, spirit as one. You come and see you can do it. You can do it. Again, come and see you can do it. Don't compel anybody. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can. Come on, you can do it. Come on, you can do it. It has to come from within. So, I don't beg people. If they speak, yeah, this is training. This is character nourishment. This is not school. Stand up, give the answer for question number 4. Say loud and proper. Say loud and proper. I don't do all that. That is an interval. When the instrument is not based, that's it's all about interest. Yeah, so the scores. Virtually every single person is going to score. So let's start with Team Dakshin Siddharth. I'll finish up with Team Dakshin Siddharth and then I'll come to Team Kiran. So Dakshin Siddharth, first the leader, Dakshin Siddharth, he has scored 48 out of 50. Next is Udeshri. So next is Udeshri Brinda. So Udeshri Brinda has scored 46 out of 50. Next is Vishnu. Yeah, next is Vishnupriya, and Vishnupriya has been really good, and she scores 45 out of 50.
Thank you so much.
Well done, Vishnupriya.
Ratan Nitish of Team Dakshin Siddharth, he has been speaking twice, and he has also scored 45 out of 50.
Well done, Ratan.
Great job.
We will come to Purna. So Purna has spoken once, and I would like to give 40 out of 50.
Well done, Purna.
Good job.
Then we would like to speak about, from Team Dakshin Siddharth, Kalpita Sri, so who spoke twice, and she has really did well, 46 out of 50.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, friends.
So Vanilla, Anjana and Sibi Adityan did not score anything, so let's now shift the focus towards Team Kiranandita. So, anything. So, what? Yes.
Sir, can I say something I forgot to mention, sir, about the fear, sir?
Okay, sure.
Okay, sir. So, sir, if anyone is like scared about the fear, so they can do the 3-finger technique therapy, sir.
Good. 3-finger technique. Yes, you did make a presentation along with Nitin Murugan last year. Thank you. Good job. Thank you for the contribution, Mohit. Well done.
Well done, Mohit.
Well done, Mohit.
Thank you, friends.
Let's speak about Team Kiranandita. So Kiranandita has spoken as an entering contestant. She gave a contribution very well. So 44 out of 50.
Well done,
Thank you, sir. Thank you, friends.
Welcome. So Vidashri Kukurani is next, and she has been explaining us about. So.
Good evening, Ashwata ma'am. Good evening, Ashwata ma'am.
Good evening, Ashwata.
Good evening, Ashwata.
So basically, Vidashri spoke really well when as an interim contestant, and she contributed so good, and her interface of the points were really nice. So 45 out of 50.
Thank you, sir.
Well done, Vidashri.
Great job, Ashwin.
Well done, Mitashri.
Sarah Kumar, who has been participating in explaining about the fear, and his suggestion was really good. So he has scored 41 out of 50.
Well done, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Let's come to Mohit Kumar. Mohit was speaking twice and he was really able to give a good interface and explaining things. He spoke about the therapy as the three-finger technique. So 41 out of 50.
Well done, Mohit.
Thanks, sir. Thanks.
Then we will come to Advait. So Advait has been speaking about fear for his better memory of remembering thing that has been happening a few months back. I really appreciate that thing. So 43 out of 50.
Very well done, Advait.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, everyone.
Well done,
And
Advait.
I would like to now speak about Guru Prasanna, so who has been an interim contestant yesterday, and today he gave his contribution in terms of fear, and he honestly agreed upon the fact about fear being a myth, and his explanation was good. So I appreciate Guru Prasanna. So 43 out of 50.
Guru Prasanna.
Very well done, Guru.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, friends.
I would like to come to Sanjay Bhaskar, who has given the solution via chat in the in-ring contest. I did appreciate his tendency, so I would like to give 40 out of 50.
Well done, Sanjay.
Well done, Sanjana.
Then I'd like to come to Prisha. So Prisha has been handing over solution in terms of fear management. The last solution that she mentioned, displacement technique of dancing, that was really good. So appreciating that. 43 out of 50 for Prisha.
Well done, Prisha.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. And last but by no means least, to Mitra. So she has been speaking a lot about making a research and coming up with a bunch of solutions. So she has secured 47 out of 50.
Well done, Akka.
Sir, 387, sir, in the sound
387 in this round for Team Kiran. 270.
I got like 360.
387. Okay, give me the grand total of Thunderbird activity, both teams. For whom?
For us, yesterday it's 373 sir, and today it's 360. Sir, 8 years 719 sir.
719 by Team Kiran, 640. How much?
643.
643. Calculation.
இல்ல சார் நான் வந்து ஓவர்நைட் பண்ணலாம் தட்சிணா போறேன்.
The grand total before we go to the one final in-ring contest, which is going to be a little preparative one. I'll tell you how. Because idea exchange and cross-functional exchange has been a new rule in MS evening sessions. 754 for Team Kiran. How many performers in Team Kiran?
Sir, Ashwatthama Navali came, sir.
No, we count him out.
9, sir.
How many performers? 9. Okay, so then there is no need for the compensation. 9. So 3 members didn't speak. So that's address. What's the grand total? 640. What's yours?
754, sir.
Okay, 754 and 643. So now, the final round. This needs a bit of a preparation. The in-ring contestants are, it's going to be 5 versus 4. The in-ring contestants are, from Team Kiran, it's going to be Mitra, then Siddharth, then Advait, and then
Mr. Kamana, sir.
no, Aswatam biggest. Mohit Kumar. Mitra, Siddharth, Mohit and Advait as one set of in-ring contestants. This is a very interesting combination. And the other people, who are the in-ring contestants? Vanilla, Anjana, Sivya, Anjana finished, right? So Vanilla, Anjana, Purna, right?
Purna, Sivya, and Kalpita sir.
I put this to put. Okay, so Vanilla, Sivi, Kalpita, and Purna. 4 versus 4. Story exchange, trouble exchange, problem exchange. Team Dakshin Siddharth has to prepare a short, crisp, precise problem to be solved by Team Kiran, and Team Kiran has to prepare a short, crisp problem to be solved by Team Dakshin Siddharth. That's going to be the in-ring contest, and that's the final round of 100 bird activity.
So then, how will it be face-off? Because we have both the teams are separate.
It's not face-off. You will explain the problems, and I will be questioning team by team.
So, but the main problem.
Kiran's team will explain. Answer.
So, but the main contestant has 4 numbers.
Yes. And when the 4 members are looking for ST, they will ask. Otherwise, okay? Just like you will. Being ST ke bol. Questions. So I will be asking questions. I'll listen to both of the stories. I will make note. I'll first make note of it, and then I will ask questions accordingly. But the problem on the Perissa story, Marilla, neat, precise, it has to be really good. Remember, tomorrow, don't make me cut a sorry figure. Vitashri has already mentioned that she is not going to be here. So Vitashri is not there. So from Team Kiran, 1 minus. Please be frank, because tomorrow is the last day of Indian and US batch merger, and from Monday onwards, I am operating on dual fashion as if it is in the past. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because the school resumption is not too long, and tomorrow is Mohit's final class, so I want to make better use of it. Right? So who in the online form, who are all coming tomorrow? Raise your hands. Purna, Prisha, Kiran, Siddharth, Kalpita, Mohit, Gulprasanna, Anjana, Vanilla, Advai. Okay, so pretty much, except Vitashri, everybody is going to be there. So, team talk time. Go for the team talk. What is the time now? 6:54. We hardly have, say, 10 minutes in the session. But before that, give me a back. Back. AC के वाश में
Sir, in this
क्लास को फोन करना वेंडर सारा वाश वीट लड़कों यार क्लास को फोन करना So boys and girls, a very important announcement. Class को यार फोन करो unless it's an emergency. Emergency. நீ பேசினா சாப்பிடு உனக்கு ஏன் இன்ஃபார்ம் பண்ணுங்க Balaji has underwent a surgery. I mean, his teeth have got little resurrected, and he is living in pain. So let's all pray for him for getting out of the pain. And he might be joining in the online form on Monday. So just informing everybody. And we will be missing his wonderful charismatic voice because his teeth are weird. Alright, boys and girls. Now Dakshin Siddharth scored really well in the 10th standard, 10th grade examination, and surprisingly he got promoted to 11th standard, which is very surprising. So basically speaking, Dakshin's mom wanted to gift Dakshin Siddharth for his wonderful excellence in his education, and they were asking a suggestion from me. So Dakshin Siddharth has been given a gift by his mom, and this particular phone
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Dakshina.
Congratulations, you're so lucky.
So they asked me about a suggestion, so I gave a suggestion, and this is the same phone that I am also using. So it's Poco M3, and he's been gifted with this phone. This is a wonderful phone. I actually bought this phone because Kalpita was using the previous version of it. So yeah, that was M2 Pro, and this is M3. 6 GB RAM and 128 GB hard disk, and with the modern level of Android system, and MIUI system is also available. You can skip to Android or you can skip to MIUI. I want you to use this with the MIUI. That's the interface, which is very, very fast. So this is his phone, and hard-earned gift for his academic excellence. We both are using the phone. Initially, I wanted to gift my phone to Dakshin Siddharth, and Dakshin's mom said she will be paying and she will be getting my phone. But then what happened was, I was about to clear my debt and I was about to give the phone. But immediately I called my vendor who sold the phone to me, and I spoke. This piece is available only in the online form. So I spoke to him, and he said he will be arranging for a piece. And fortunately, he arranged for a quick piece. Before it got sold out, I captured it. And in fact, he got it 500, 600 rupees lesser than what I have got. So it was a very good striking deal. So he got it so damn cheaper. So that's why I'm really happy. So congratulations, questions to that.
Congratulations, Dakshina.
Thank you.
I'll set this up. After the class, I'll set this up. Okay. We have SIM card with you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so team talk time. Until Dakshin Siddharth's mom, Vishnupriya's mom, Brinda's grandfather, until they come, you have time. And Asadaman is coming and sitting and blinking as if he has been lost into a very big festival carnival, and I have to give him some work. So if Asadaman has come down a little earlier, he would have also contributed in the fear. Okay? I know you would have spoken. Good job. Go for the team talk. 10 minutes, boys and girls. 10 minutes. 10. 10. அது எப்படிங்கிறது உள்ள போயிட்டு சொல்லுங்க. 10 minutes. Show your team talk windows. ஒரு வடை கூட தர மாட்டேன். Boys. You can go. Yeah.